This is the Cholo News Report for Monday 15 April 2019. At least 8 people are killed in the southern United States amid severe storms bringing floods and tornadoes. 2 children were killed on a back road in East Texas when a pine tree fell onto the car in which they were riding in a severe thunderstorm Saturday near Pollock, about 150 miles southeast of Dallas. At least 1 person was killed and about 24 others were injured after a suspected tornado struck the Caddo Mounds State Historic Site in East Texas during a Native American cultural event in Alto, about 130 miles southeast of Dallas. Field Marshal Khalifa Haftar of the Libyan National Army visits Cairo for a meeting with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who has supported the LNA in its military operation against the rival government of National Accord in Tripoli. With Haftar seemingly bogged down on the outskirts of Tripoli, Sisi was probably the single external leader who might have persuaded the Libyan warlord to accept a ceasefire. At least 1 person is killed and 3 others wounded in a drive-by shooting outside a nightclub in Melbourne, Australia. Police believe the shots were fired at the Love Machine Club from a black Porsche Cayenne, which was later found burnt out in the suburb Willard, about 50 kilometers north of the crime scene. Links to an outlaw motorcycle gang are being investigated by detectives, who believe have made extortion attempts on the nightclub, menacing the venue for payments and hanging around refusing to pay for drinks. Pat Mitchell, a police reporter for 3AW, tweeted that the footpath on Chapel Street had been closed due to the trail of blood from the shot security guard. Pete Buttigieg, mayor of South Bend, Indiana, announces his running for the Democratic Party's nomination to be president of the United States in the 2020 presidential election. It comes from people who think the only way to reach communities like ours is through resentment and nostalgia, selling an impossible promise of returning to a bygone era that was never as great as advertised to begin with. Buttigieg, the son of 2 Notre Dame University professors, attended Harvard, went on to become a Rhodes Scholar, did a stint at the consulting firm McKinsey & Co., was elected as the mayor of South Bend at the age of 29, took a leave of absence during his first term to serve in Afghanistan, as a naval intelligence officer, came out as gay in a column in his local newspaper a few months before his re-election, was re-elected with nearly 80% of the vote, married his partner Chasen in a church ceremony that was live-streamed on the internet, and wrote a best-selling book. Last week the European Union had called on the LNA to stop its attacks, having agreed on a statement after France and Italy sparred over how to handle the conflict. But the Eastern Parliament had said they would press an offensive launched a week ago under military commander Khalifa Haftar, the latest outbreak of a cycle of conflict since the 2011 overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi. The latest battle had by Friday killed 75 people, mainly fighters but including 17 civilians, and wounded another 323, according to UN tallies.